Hey guys, welcome to the Tone Show. I'm your host, Anthony Tone Show Nunez, and today I'm answering the question, are Quinlan and Blade related? Blade originally appeared as a Marvel Comics character created by writer Marv Wolfman and penciler Gene Colan in 1973, while Quinlan originally appeared as a character in the vampire horror novel series, The Strange Trilogy, created by Guillermo del Toro and writer Chuck Hogan, released from 2009 through 2011. Now Blade, he would go on to star in his own trilogy, the Blade film series, 3 live-action movies starring Wesley Snipes as Blade, released from 1998 through 2004. This particular incarnation of Blade, to this very day, stands as the version that most people are familiar with. Now, being a fan of both characters, I couldn't help but notice all the similarities which they share. For example, both of them are human vampire hybrids, the result of their pregnant mothers being bitten by vampires while carrying them. Both characters also share a lot of common vampire attributes and uncommon vampire attributes. For example, Blade, who's referred to as the Daywalker, and as his moniker implies, he can walk outside during the day, unlike regular vampires. Quinlan, also known as the Born, implying his birth into a very rare class of human vampire hybrids, can also venture outside during the day, unlike regular Strigoi vampires. Though both characters can operate during the day, both are sensitive to light. Blade usually rocks his signature black shades, and Quinlan wears a pair of goggles and a hood to cover those pointy ears of his. Blade, for one, has superhuman strength, speed, agility, and an enhanced healing factor. Quinlan has superhuman strength, and his speed is ridiculous, y'all. We've seen him move so fast in a blink of an eye, disarm a whole room of armed guys and kill them. He's basically a speedster, so he borders on metahuman fast. That's how fast Quinlan is. And he also has increased agility and an enhanced healing factor as well. Both characters age very slowly due to their vampire physiology. Blade in the comics was born Eric Brooks in England in 1929 and doesn't look a day past 30. While Quinlan dates back to 40 AD. Quintus Sertorius, as he was known, was the 5th member of the Born. He was born under the rule of the Roman Empire. On the show, he stated he's been in the struggle with his vampire master for over 2,000 years, y'all. That's a hell of a commitment. Both Quinlan and Blade, y'all, are incredibly skilled hand-to-hand combatants. And when they're not swinging those fists, you know what they like to use? A sword. That's their preferred weapon. And when they're not swinging a sword, which Quinlan likes one with a big old bone on top, and Blade, he's more of a classical katana type of guy. Both Blade and Quinlan have an affinity for short automatic snub-nosed weapons. Can we say Uzi love? And both characters require the typical vampire sustenance to survive. That means they want to drink your blood. As far as allies, Blade in the movies has Abraham Whistler, an old white guy with an old white beard who knows a thing or two about killing vampires. While Quinlan, he has an Abraham of his own, Professor Abraham Satrakian, also an old white guy with an old white beard who also knows a thing or two about killing vampires. Coincidence? So there's more than a few similarities shared among these vampire hunters. So what's the relation? What's the connection? Is there a connection? And the answer is yes, there's definitely a connection. The second Blade movie in the Blade trilogy, the simply titled Blade 2, which came out in 2002 and was directed by, guess who? Directed by Guillermo del Toro. Guillermo del Toro, who would go on to create the Strain novels in 2009, which would later become the source material for the Strain TV show in 2014. So the connection is there, guys. It's quite possible that director Guillermo del Toro was heavily influenced by his work on Blade 2 when it came to the development of Quinlan as a character for the Strain. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that Guillermo del Toro ripped off, Blade and that Quinlan is a copy of Blade. What I'm saying is that Guillermo del Toro was influenced and inspired by his work from Blade 2 when he created Quinlan. There's a lot of similarities there. And I'm not saying that Guillermo del Toro just ripped off stuff, because if you guys saw Blade 2, it's the best of the 3 movies. And one of the reasons that it's the best of the 3 movies is because Guillermo del Toro's fingerprints, his creative fingerprints, are all over that movie. That man injected a lot of creativity into that movie. That's the first time we ever seen vampires whose jaws open like this to feed. And those same vampires then we see later on kind of in the Strain. So you can see that the work that he developed for Blade 2 He also carried on and developed even further with the Stinger for the Strange series. That's all Guillermo del Toro, y'all. That's all Pan's Labyrinth creativity right there. So he definitely injected that movie a lot of creativity. He definitely developed a lot of ideas there. And I think he carried those ideas later on to his later work. Right now, yo, this is all my opinion. I don't know none of this for a fact. We are deep in the waters of speculation right now. But by looking at the similarities between the characters and the fact that the same person was connected with both works, we can kind of see how through creative osmosis or the subconscious, Guillermo del Toro got some influences and inspirations from Blade to create Quinlan. So those are definitely there. So that's what I think the connection is between these two characters, and how come there are a lot of similarities that one can point and say, hey, these guys are very similar. So anyway, this is the Tone Show. That's what I think the relationship is. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more Tone Show. Big shout out to the John, Aziz The John, always for the help on these videos. And as always, Tone Show, ow!
Remember to like and subscribe for more Tone Show.